Hello everyone, welcome back to another interesting tutorial. If today is your first time of joining us, you are highly welcome. To my old subscribers, thank you very much for returning back to watch my videos. So today's tutorial will be the making of a double joint bow. As you can see on the screen, there are many ways to wear it. You can place it anywhere on your dress. It's so elegant and you can use any type of fabric to make this bow. But I'm using this light scuba fabric, and this is the right side and this is the wrong side. We are going to use these two pieces. One is the bigger one and then the second one is the small one on top. Because this fabric is light, I'm going to be ironing, interfacing and using the same fabric to line it. So on the screen you can see that the bigger bow have a little slant on the side, on the down part. So I'm taking out the small one and then shaping this. So on the bottom of the big one, I'm going to go up by 3.5 inches. And I'm going to connect it from this 3.5 point I mark to the tip of the bottom. And I'm going to grab my scissors and cut it out. So we have a slant curve on the bottom, as you can see. So on this big piece, I'm going to use the same to cut a lining for it, to turn it inside out. And the lining, I'm going to iron the interfacing to give it that structure effect that you want. On the small piece, I'm going to cut a lining and then iron the interfacing and then come back and show you. But before I'll do that, let me give you the measurements I use. Sorry, I couldn't say that from the start. On the bigger bow, I measured 15 inches by 24 inches. The small bow, I cut 15 inches by 16.5 inches. It's supposed to be 15.5. I'm going to use ½ inch to sew the lining and then ½ inch on the upper side too. So I'm going to cut the lining, iron the interfacing and come back and show you guys. So guys, I'm done with the interfacing. I finished ironing the interfacing on the lining. As I told you initially, I'm using the same fabric for the lining. So sorry for using black interfacing because I'm short of the white one. So the next thing I'm going to do is to pin the lining and the main fabric together. So this is how I pin it. And you may ask where I will turn it inside out from. So after sewing all along the edges like so, I'll be making a small hole in the center like this. Cut it and then turn it inside out from there. I'm going to pin the smaller one also like this. And then take to my machine, sew and come back and show you how I'm going to turn it inside out. So I finished sewing the edges. This is the small one, the small bow, and this is the big bow. So I notch the edges. Now the next thing is to make a hole in the middle like so, but make sure that you don't cut the fabric beneath. So you are going to turn the fabric out like this. Take your time when pulling it out so that you don't rip your fabric. you find an object to bring out the corners like so, but make sure that it's not sharp object that will tear through the fabric. So I'm going to do the same to the bigger piece to turn it inside out, because after we are going to pack the bow here, so this opening is not going to be showing. So I finished turning it inside out. This is the back, this is the front, and I'm going to take it to my ironing board and give it a good press and come back and show you the next step. So I finished ironing the pieces and look how beautiful they look, very neat and nice. So the next thing to do is I'm going to place the small one on top of the big one like so. If you look on the screen, you see how it looks like. The upper one, the distance is about 1 inch, and the down part is a bit broader. Next, I'll be finding the midpoint of this small one on top. I just tip it with the pin here. I have to find the midpoint of here too. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create the pleats to form the bow. So by doing that, I have already cut out a band to tie the bow in the middle. So this is the band. You can cut any length you want. It's just to tie it in the middle. So after pleating it, I'll take the band and then tie the middle. You start pleating like this. Just take it like this. Take your time to do it because it's double fabric. So this is how the bowl is looking like. Can't you see? It's very beautiful. Our bowl is already forming. So where the midpoint I mark is here. So this is where the band is going to tie. So I'm going to tie it, to turn it like this. We are going to tie it like this. Tie it very tight. The wideness of this band is 1.5 inch. So by sewing 1/2 inch, you get about 1.2. So this is 1.2. So I'm going to tight it well. Look the way I'm trying the rope. Bam, and then you give it a second tie. You cut off the excess band. So this is how the bow is looking like. Very beautiful, very elegant. Look how nice and beautiful it is. So I'm going to fix it on my body form. I'm going to style it in many ways for you to see. So guys, we have come to the end of today's tutorial. If this tutorial has been helpful to you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share my video, subscribe to support your lady. See you on my next video. Ciao.